Hello, I hope you all had a happy free comic book day. I wanted to share with you my haul of comics that I got today at Free Comic Book Day and tell you what I think of them. This is what I wore. It's one of my favorite t-shirts. It says Sailor Soldiers Motorcycle Club, Crystal Tokyo, we will punish you. It's kind of one of my stealth geek shirts because sometimes people just they just see this skull and they don't realize it's like a Sailor Moon skull. And so I thought it was appropriately geeky, even though I knew there probably wouldn't be any Sailor Moon comics, and there weren't. But whenever there's Bob's Burgers material, I definitely want to get that. I got the Bob's Burgers comic at Free Comic Book Day last year. Always very fun, one of my favorite shows. This one I got Drawn Quarterly stuff. Says Tom Gauld sampler. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Not actually familiar with this artist. Well, the style looks very familiar to me, so I'm excited to read that. Looks very indie, very thoughtful storyline. I got this item. Says Young Terrorists, We Can Never Go Home, rated M for mature. So yeah, it does look like it's quite violent. I've heard a lot about One Punch Man. I have never consumed any One Punch Man material, comics or animated or otherwise. So I'm pretty excited to see what all the fuss is about with One Punch Man. I got this gorgeous Lady Mechanica. So I'm not familiar with this character. I don't know if this is a new character, but it looks like she's kind of a steampunk heroine. It looks very gothic. So I think this is a sampler from a couple of different artists. I'm blanking on Lumberjanes. So I believe this is, I only read the first one, but I believe this is a Lumberjanes cover. And they're all reading different comics. Oh yeah, including they're reading Lumberjanes. So that's really cute. I like that. I'm excited. So it's a couple of different artists. It looks like there's Lumberjanes stuff, but there's also, I'm not sure who this is. There's some Mouse Guard. There's a lot of different stuff in here. So that looks cool. This is one of the first things I picked out. It is Legend of Korra. I am a big fan of the Avatar The Last Airbender, well, the original series, and I actually haven't seen all of Korra. I've seen some of it. I know some people found it to be underwhelming compared to the original series, but what I saw of it I really liked. I'm really been meaning to see the rest of it, but looks like it's kind of prequel-y. It's got young Korra. I also got the Nickelodeon one with Sanjay and Craig. I guess maybe just because I'm 27, I don't really watch Nickelodeon anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with watching cartoons when you're in your late 20s, because I definitely have cartoons that I watch, but I've never watched Sanjay and Craig. But it looks really cute, and I've heard that it's well acted, and well, obviously I'm not going to hear the voice acting in the comic, but I wanted to get this and see what Sanjay and Craig is all about. From this DC Superhero Girls, and obviously intended for a younger demographic than me, but I couldn't resist an all-girl superhero group that's super fun, and it has Wonder Girl, and there's Supergirl, and it looks like a young Harley Quinn over here, and I don't recognize, oh, there's Batgirl. Batgirl's up there, and Poison Ivy, and there are these two characters I don't recognize, but I don't know if they're new to this comic or not, but I will find out. And then I got Hilda by Luke Pearson. I'm not familiar with this artist, but I always, what's Free Comic Book Day about if not for trying new stuff? So it also has Akissi, Akissi, Akissi. I don't know how that's pronounced, but it also has stories about this character, and it looks pretty good. So that is my Free Comic Book Day haul. I love my local comic book shop. They had a BB-8 cake. They had little cupcakes next to the BB-8 cake, and I ate one of them, and it was super cute. Tragically, I didn't get any pictures with any of the people who are outside dressed as superheroes. Me and my friend were planning to, but then, they went in to get their comics and they left, and of course they don't have to, stay just for us. But I saw lots of people, adults and kids, taking pictures with them, and it was really sweet. There was a Captain America, a Deadpool, and a Hawkeye. And so if you're one of those people who dresses as a superhero outside of Free Comic Book Day and talks to kids and adults and makes a day, God bless you, because it's so sweet and always is an extra special treat. In the past at my comic book store, some people have come dressed as stormtroopers and all that fun stuff. I just realized I didn't get any Star Wars comics. I think there were some, but I didn't grab them. I guess because I think the previews looked like previews of stuff I'd already read, so I didn't get it. I was also planning to get some Ms. Marvel bound volumes, because I started reading Ms. Marvel, the new Ms. Marvel with Kamala Khan, when it was new, and I got just the single issues, but now I'm behind because I haven't, just because I got busy with career stuff and moving. But I realized that I don't know where I stopped in the story, and so what bound volume I would be in, so I have to check. But I think I'm gonna go back once I look it up and go back and ask my local comic book shop to order it for me. So that didn't happen, but I did get my lots of good comics. Just had a good time. So thank you so much to all the staff at comic book shops, just generally for being fantastic, but also during Free Comic Book Day, because it's so busy and I'm sure it gets a little stressful. But I've always had, and I've gone to Free Comic Book Day in a couple different cities that I've lived in, and I've always found that I had a wonderful experience, and the staff try really hard to make it a good experience and make sure everyone has fun and make it fun for kids and adults. So thank you so much, comic book store employees and awesome people who come in costume. I hope you, all of you who wanted to, were able to make it out to a participating comic book shop in your area. I highly recommend it if you've never been. My friend who I brought with me was only the second time she's ever been, and the last time she was in high school or something. So it was a wonderful experience for both of us. It always makes my day. I'm always glad that I went. It's worth waiting in line, I find, because it's just the energy is always really good at a Free Comic Book Day. Everybody's in a good mood. And yeah, so that's my Free Comic Book Day haul. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.